Blizzard is a massive games company. However, in their long history of producing games, they have censored quite a few things that you guys probably do not know about. So in this video, I'm going to be going over 5 times Blizzard censored their games. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off at number 5 is Jaina in Hearthstone. So if any of you Hearthstone players are not aware already, Jaina has actually seen a makeover of her artwork that you could see in game. The default skin for playing a mage in Hearthstone is the Jaina artwork. However, just recently, Blizzard has actually made a tweak to this artwork, where her chest is more covered up. It's obvious that Blizzard thinks that the previous artwork for Jaina Proudmoore was a little bit too revealing, so they added this little bit of cloth in front of her chest. So you guys may be wondering, why did Blizzard do this? Well, the answer to that question is China censorship. You see, the media in China is very strictly censored. There are certain things that are not allowed in TV shows and movies that is no problem for people in the West. For example, recently in China, there's been a bit of a controversy considering that a TV program had to censor people for having pierced ears. And this strict censorship applies to games as well. If Blizzard wants to have Hearthstone continue in China, they have to meet the requirements for the censorship rules. And one of the problems with Blizzard games recently is that female clothing was a little bit too revealing. So I'm 99% sure that the reason why they changed the Jaina artwork is because of this reason. They felt that it was previously a little bit too revealing for the Chinese government. However, this is not the first time this has happened in Hearthstone. In fact, in the Chinese client of Hearthstone, there is actually a card that is different to the artwork that we have in the West. For example, the Skeleton Knight card in China is actually wearing armor and a helmet, whereas in the West it's basically just the skeleton. So Hearthstone changing artwork to meet the requirements of the Chinese market is something that is nothing new. Number 4 on this list is Tracer's pose. If any of you guys have been playing Overwatch a few years ago, you guys probably remember what this was about. This was a case where Tracer, an in-game character of Overwatch, actually had a victory pose that caused a small controversy. You see, people believe that the Tracer's pose was a little bit too flattering, and they thought that it actually demeaned women. However, the people that had this opinion was a very small amount of the community. In fact, I only think there was one person who made a thread about this on the Overwatch forums, and then Blizzard thought it was serious enough that they actually removed the pose from the game, and instead they replaced it with a new pose for Tracer. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what Blizzard was thinking. It's only a really vocal minority that has a problem with the old Tracer pose, and to be honest, the new pose is not much different, so I'm not sure what the point of it was. Before I get into number 3, I have a challenge for you guys real quick. Go down, smash the like button, and subscribe to the channel. If you can do this within the next 5 seconds, you will have amazing luck for the entire week. But with that being said, let's get right back into the video. Number 3, World of Warcraft China. As I mentioned before, the censorship rules in China is very strict, and World of Warcraft China was changed the most. You see, the Chinese client of World of Warcraft is actually its own separate client, because many of the in-game models and things in the game are completely different, and it's not simply a different language. For the most obvious example, there was actually pretty much no skeletons in the game. Many of the skeletons in World of Warcraft have actually been replaced with undead with no bones showing, or straw men. So that means a lot of the undead and skeleton models in the game have been completely changed and altered so that they no longer resemble a skeleton. There are also quite funny changes in the World of Warcraft China client, such as meat is actually replaced by loaves of bread, and bodies are replaced by straw men. And in this clip, I have a person playing in the undead starting zone on the Chinese client. So with that being said, let's play the clip. Number 2 on this list is XQC. So guys, if you have not heard of XQC, this is actually a professional Overwatch player that was actually really famous a few years ago. XQC was kind of an outspoken player of the game. He liked to make some raunchy jokes on his streams and was quite vocal about his opinions. However, when Blizzard created the Overwatch League, they actually wanted to make some really strict rules on the behavior of players that participate. The Overwatch League has quite a few strict rules, and you can actually get fined if you say something offensive on Twitter or social media. This happened quite a few times with XQC, as he made jokes, but Blizzard didn't like it, so they actually fined him. XQC has quite a rocky relationship with Blizzard, but the culture of Twitch streamers and the internet in general is just a lot more relaxed with this kind of stuff. So XQC naturally gets in quite a lot of trouble, and in this clip, he actually gets suspended from Overwatch for saying F you to a player. So with that being said, let's play the clip.
Yeah, like 3 Widowmans, literally.
Hello.
Okay, Kappa. Alright, so we'll end them up with a minute remaining. These guys are actually really boosted. We're aware of an issue authenticating our authenticating server, which may result in slow or failed log attempts. We are currently investigating the issue and will provide updates as... So what this means basically is that Reddit holds more power than anything else in the game. Reddit is like the mastermind of Overwatch. If something happens on Reddit, then you just get f***ed up. That's how it works now, I guess. Because I didn't get banned when I did it. I didn't get banned when I streamed it. I didn't get an email when I did it. I didn't get a Discord email, but I got banned when it was on Reddit. So obviously Reddit has a lot of power. It's too expensive for Blizzard to have bad advertisement on Reddit. So they just, they do that. They're using me as an example, so I mean, nothing's gonna change though. I feel like I'm legitimately being used as some sort of like scapegoat type example for everyone.
So number 1 on this list is the Diablo Immortal trailer. Last year's BlizzCon had the unfortunate reaction of creating one of the most disliked videos on YouTube. This was probably the biggest event that happened in last year's BlizzCon. If you guys don't know, Blizzard actually announced a new Diablo game called Diablo Immortal. However, the catch with this is that it's no longer on the PC or on a console, but it is in fact a new mobile game, and the Diablo community was absolutely infuriated by this. The Diablo community is quite a hardcore PC gaming market, so when they heard that the new IP in their beloved franchise was going to be on tablets and mobile phones, they were really annoyed, because they felt that the quality of gameplay would go down because of the hardware that is required to play, as well as the business model will be microtransactions, something that the PC gaming market absolutely hates.
Face of Diablo. I was curious. I was curious, I see a lot of mechanics that we've kind of been begging for in Diablo 3 in this. Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any, the current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
You can play on your tablet too.
Yes, it's also on the Switch, you're right.
So naturally, because of this, the trailer that they released during BlizzCon got an insane amount of dislikes. In fact, today, the dislike amount is actually at 729,000 dislikes, whereas the people that liked the trailer was a couple of tens of thousands. However, something curious started to happen. In fact, some comments would start to disappear, or dislikes would go away. There were some cases where 80,000 dislikes just disappeared from the page. So some people wondered if Blizzard was doing something fishy where they would be removing dislikes from the video. As a YouTuber, I can say that there's no way to do this. There is no real way to censor likes and dislikes on YouTube. You can definitely delete comments, which is what some people said happened to them. When they left a negative comment on the video, it got removed. However, my theory as to what happened with the dislikes being removed is that if YouTube detects that a bot is being used, they will actually remove the likes or dislikes. Because these are are botted accounts and not real accounts. So the most likely scenario is that a really annoyed fan actually got a bot to dislike the video, and then YouTube picked up on it and then they deleted the dislikes. This happens quite a lot. In fact, very often, YouTube will actually remove inactive or botted subscribers from people's accounts. So I'm 99% sure that this is the case. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below. That would mean the absolute world to me. This is vaulty, signing out.